Kia ora e te whānau, ko Joe tēnei. Joe is an aquaculture technician for Love Rimurimu, and right now we are in a laboratory, a wet lab, you'll find out why in a minute, at NIWA Taihoro Nukurangi, and this place is a really important part of the Love Rimurimu kaupapa, isn't it, Joe? This is where you bring in seaweed that you've collected from nature to grow more of it. Tell us more about how it works.
Yeah. So what that kind of looks like is we go out into the environment, we find some giant kelp. I then dive down to the bottom of that kelp and I pick off some of the fertile material that you find down there, things we call the sori. We're real lucky because I actually have a beach cast seaweed with me today.
So this wasn't ripped off the rock, this is something we found, right?
This is something we found, yeah, washed up on the shore.
That's why it's the wet room.
This is why it's the wet lab. I can kind of show you what it might look like underwater. We've got the whole seaweed itself. All this is the top of that seaweed, the stuff that you'll see floating up near the surface with the big old air bladders that lifts these blades up so they can photosynthesize. And then right down the bottom of the seaweed, next to this big old holdfast that's attached to the rock, we have this big bushy bit. And this is where we find the fertile material of the seaweed, what we call the sori. So these blades down here, they'll be a slightly different color. They'll be a little bit fatter because they're really like full of spores. And yeah, slightly thicker, and they'll have like a weird, almost like thick feeling to them. Can you feel that?
Feels pretty thick.
Feels pretty thick compared to the other ones?
Yeah, that feels thin. Mm.
So what we do is we go down and we find some that look real good, and we'll pick them off.
And you'll only pick a few from each one?
Only a few, yeah. So about 5 from each seaweed. We don't want to take too many from one seaweed. We don't want to put too much pressure on that specific seaweed. We also want a big range of the seaweeds of the spores we're collecting, because we want that genetic diversity. Once we have our fertile material, we then bring it back to the lab, we bag it up, bring it back here, and then we process it. Thank you. So what that looks like normally is we get a bit of ethanol, put it onto a paper towel, thank you, and then we'd rub down the seaweed. What this does is it sterilizes it, removes maybe a little bit of those contaminants that might come in with the seaweed from nature. And we want to make sure afterwards that it's nice and dry. Once we've done that, we're going to cut around that thicker bit, getting rid of all the excess material, all down the sides, so we're just left with that big, chunky sori. And we get rid of all the excess bits because all of that will start breaking down overnight, and we are going to leave this overnight. This then goes,
Yep. So you stack them up in there, and then what do you do with this container?
Yeah, so we'd stack this until we've used up all the material that we brought in. We'd layer it in. We don't really want any of them touching each other. We put another paper towel in as we go, just stacking it up. This gets boxed up, and it gets put into a fridge overnight. What the fridge does to the seaweed is it stresses it out. When stuff in nature gets stressed, it's kind of like kicks it into overdrive and makes it want to push out babies. It wants to reproduce. It wants to survive.
Okay.
We come back the next day. We get that stuff out the fridge. We then chop it up really, really small, and then we put it into some sterile seawater with some added nutrients, and then we kind of jiggle it around for a while, stir it. And then all the spores start to drop out, and it creates what we call a spore slurry. That slurry will look really dark, it'll look kind of slimy and goopy, and that's how you know that it's full of all those tiny little spores, because we can't see them with our naked eye.
And then you put them somewhere quite special after that.
We do, yeah. So we'll put them one of 2 places, both special places. When they start developing into gametophytes, so they start rolling through their life cycle, we'll either put them into a white light incubator and have them start to grow, start to settle, start to turn into seaweeds. We can scrape that down, blend it up, and then that can go into our seeding tank, or we can put it into our red light incubator.
Interesting. Well, let's go and have a look at the incubator.
Let's do it.
Okay. Okay, Joe, this is your red light incubator. Tell us how it works.
Aye, so we've made our spore slurry. We've extracted those spores from the fertile material. It goes into a white light incubator for a little while, a few days up to a week. Starts developing into gametophytes. At that point, it's going to go one of two places. We're either putting it into our seeding tank over in our nursery, or it comes to our red light incubator. Basically what this does, like I said before, is it pauses that life cycle. So it'll stop them from growing anymore, stop them from like rolling through their life cycle.
So it's like a bank. You can store it until you need it.
Yeah, no,
Awesome.
exactly that. So these guys have been in here for over a year now. They are just paused in their life cycle. They will keep growing like biomass, so they'll keep getting bigger, but they won't like continue developing into like adult seaweeds. And that's great because it means that we've just got this, like you said, a spore bank, like a whole bank of just genetic diversity of spores, of like rather gametophytes from different like areas around Wellington. This means that we can come back for them when we need them. God forbid all the giant kelp around Wellington dies. Hopefully that's not going to happen. But it does mean that we have somewhere to come back to and somewhere to restart. It also means that if like certain times a year the giant kelp isn't fertile, which does happen because there is a seasonal cycle to its reproduction, we can kind of come back here again, take some of these guys, scrape them out, blend them up. Doesn't hurt them.
I was going to say, it's a bit harsh beating them up.
But we blend them up, turn them into fragmented gametophytes, and then they can go over into our nursery tank, into our seeding tank, which
is the nursery. And that is what you're going to show us next.
Yeah, I'm going to go show you the nursery.
Awesome. Hey, that's cool. Thanks, Joe. Looking forward to seeing that. Brilliant.